Hello and welcome to Coloring with Konica and Craftyscrappers YouTube channel. And today I thought of starting a new coloring session here, a step-by-step coloring video tutorial for you. So I will be going through all the different techniques here today, and we will be looking at basic skin, hair and clothing techniques that you can create using economical coloring mediums. So in this session, we are going to go through blending light source color theory and how you can create different kinds of color blends with water-based markers that are easily available in India, cost less, and gives great results. So I will be also talking about some of the brands which has amazing water-based markers and also what paper to choose when coloring and blending. Our premium white cardstock is specifically designed for watercoloring, stamping, blending and distressing and all kinds of ink layering. And it is also ideal for card making, scrapbooking and mixed media. You can do die cutting, dry and wet embossing, and also use our shimmer paste to create dimension with these papers, and these works really great with Craftyscrappers premium dye inks. To begin, I'm using this really cute stamped image from the stamp set I Love You, beautifully illustrated by Pratisha Banerjee, one of our stamp illustrator and designer. She has illustrated a ton of stamps for us, and I find this image to be perfect to learn the basics of blending colors for skin, hair and clothing techniques. So I have stamped the image onto two cardstocks. One is the premium cardstock, which is my favorite as it makes coloring and blending much easier as it holds water-based colors to a certain level where you can just go ahead and add another set of colors to it and then create different kinds of layers and just blend the colors beautifully. And the other one is the regular art paper that you can get at any stationery store in India, and I will show you the difference between these two cardstock in few minutes. So the stamping is somewhat same in both of these papers, as you can see. Now let's see if both the papers hold the layers of colors when using these water-based markers, and up to what extent we can add different layers of coloring onto it. So to color my stamped image today, I will be using two coloring mediums, both somewhat similar and yet different in color layering. So one is this Faber-Castell's sketch pens 50 count, and the other one is a dual tip brush pens from Smart Color Art 48 count. These are water-based markers and available in Amazon. As you can see, I have marked each of my pens and made a color chart here. So for the step one, I'm going to be doing hair coloring, and for the hair, I always like to use Faber-Castell's pens. These are simple sketch pens. You can find them at any stationery store nearby, and I'm going to use the shades of black, gray and light gray to create the hair. I'm going to be flicking the sketch pens as I go to create the hair strands. So this is the black color I'm applying first, and I'm going to also leave a little bit of place in there for making the highlight in both the sides. So you can see that by flicking these sketch pens, you get a very nice texture of hair there. It looks more natural and realistic. So I'm going to finish the first half of the hair with the black and the light gray. If you find that the color is needed, you can just go back in and start coloring it again, make more strokes and make more strands of hair. So now I'm going to color the second half of the hairs. You can see that I'm again using the flicking method to create the strands of the hair. First I'm doing it with the black, and then I'm gradually going on with the gray sketch pen. And just blending it out, creating a little bit of highlight to the side. You can add more layers of colors if you want to, like I'm doing here. I don't know if the camera is capturing the actual image coloring, but if you can see it in real, it does look like real strands of hair. You can also use different colors from your sketch pen pad, like you can use shades of red, shades of blue, shades of brown to color different colors of hair as you like. I'm going to show you a quick shades of brown hair. For this, I'm using all the shades of brown that came with the sketch pen pad. You just have to follow this flicking technique to create the hair strands. And no matter what color you use, the hair will look realistic. If you're not satisfied with the coloring, then go back again and create as many layers as you want with the hair. See, I'm going again here. Since stamped images are the focal point of your creation, you need to pay a lot of attention while you color it. If you think the stamping is not perfect, you should stamp 2-3 images in a piece of paper and select the one that you have stamped perfectly. So if you're new to stamped image coloring and blending, I know it can be way overwhelming at first for a beginner as it is an art technique. There are lots of fundamentals that we need to learn. But if you keep checking this space where I will show you and discuss some of the art hacks, it will be a great starting point for you to begin. And then you can master the art of coloring on the go. And while practicing different blending techniques and trying different brands of coloring mediums, you will be coloring like a pro. And also, if you do have a bit of coloring experience, just go through this coloring fundamentals and refresh all of your coloring techniques, and it will sure help you become a better colorist. Next, we are going to be coloring the skin, and I'm going to show you today a light shade version of the skin that I mostly prefer using in my images. So here I have taken 5 shades of brown to create that blended look. You can also begin your coloring with the skin coloring, as it gives you the idea how the colors will react with each other. And once you figure out the light source, your coloring will look more clean and realistic. So to start with the skin coloring, I will begin with the darkest shade of the brown and create a boundary around the face, which is creating the shadow depending upon the light source. So what is this light source? The light source is when we show where the light comes down and hits the part of an object to create a shadow or a highlight on a certain part of the object. As shadows change depending upon the location of light, so when you shade, you will always have to define your light source first. So the light source of my image here is in the center. That is, the center part of my image will be lighter and the color around the center will be darker as my image is facing forward. The main light source will be in the center. Next, I'm going to use the lighter shade of the brown to blend the darkest brown color that I put earlier. I will blend just that much that the colored lines of my previous dark brown color hides. Then to create the highlighted part, I will use the lighter shade of the brown and blend the second layer of lighter brown that I put earlier. So the part where the sun hits first the object is the highlight, which is the lighter part. And the place where the light hits last are the shadows. So the shadows need to be darker than the highlighted part. Do not be confused or worried. As you keep practicing, you will understand what I'm talking about. And finally, to blend everything up, I will use the lighter brown color. Next I will color the neck, hands and the legs the same way I did before, using the shades of brown, starting with the darker, then a shade lighter, and so on until everything blends together. Now I will show you the difference in color layering and blending in a premium cardstock and regular art paper. So this is a regular art paper that I'm using here. As you can see, the ink that I'm putting on is not at all staying at the surface, and on the other hand, on the premium cardstocks, the ink layers perfectly and stays wet longer for us to blend. Coloring clothes are my favorite, and here you can see I've used 3 shades of blue to create the dress of this cute image. And first I'm going to apply the darker shade of the blue, then I'm going to go and blend in with the lighter shade of the blue. And finally I'm going to blend more and more and just with the lighter shade of the blue. I'm going to also do the shoes now, and using the same techniques, darker, lighter, lighter, I'm going to finish off coloring the shoes. And here you can see I've just taken the shades of red, and I'm going to do the darker one first, then blend in with a lighter shade of red, and then I'm going to finish the blending with the pink. I always like to add texture to the clothes of my stamped images. So here I'm going to use Jelly Roll white pens, medium point, to create the polka dot texture to the image's clothing. You can also do the same with the black micro pen or any other sketch pen coordinating the color of the clothing. Adding texture to your stamped images does add the wow factor. So I suggest just play with different kinds of textures, create your own texture and make your stamped images stand out. There are so many textures that you can give to your stamped image, especially when it's the clothing. You can do cross stitches, dots, plates, hearts, polka dots, or even just highlight the creases of the clothing. So that's for today. We've completed this, and I've also created a card with that image. Thank you so much for watching and coloring with me. I hope you liked the video, and I hope this video was helpful and you learned the basics of coloring. I will be back soon with another video where I will show you how you can effortlessly color the little critters. If you have any questions or queries, or if you have any request on a particular stamp set where you would love to see me coloring, do let me know in the comment section below. So thank you once again. See you soon. Bye bye.